Today I'm going to talk about something that's sort of a life skill, and that's tips for public speaking. Because whether you're talking about AP English or this year I'm teaching sophomore honors English, it doesn't matter if you're an English major or an engineer or you're going to be a doctor or sell used cars. You need tips for public speaking because you need to be able to be persuasive and try to persuade people, convince people, sway people, get people to buy in. All of these things are such life skills. I remember I first got stationed at El Toro Marine Base, which is now the Great Park in Irvine. And I was there about 2 days, and my commanding officer, who was a colonel pilot, he came over to me and he said, "Hey, Lieutenant Mooney, I need you to give a security talk in the theater tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh, okay, sir." And so then I did some research. I asked my Marines, because I was like just a dumb lieutenant. I said, "How many people are going to be in the theater? What units?" And they started listing off all the units. And it was about 500 people in the theater. So that was my first experience doing a large-scale public speaking. So it was fun. And I didn't totally fail, but I could have used these tips. Remember, for AP English, at least we're trying to prepare for an open-ended argument, and for my sophomores, we're trying to prepare for next year. So you want to rehearse the speech many, many times, and you can do it in front of the mirror. I like to do it in front of the mirror because you're going to see your facial expressions. You could obviously do it in front of your pet or your mom or your dad or your BFF. But the more times you've rehearsed it, the more confident I think you'll feel. I'm in charge of the graduation speakers, so we try to rehearse at least 3 times together, and they're rehearsing in front of their mom, their dad, their friends, to get ready for graduation when they're going to give it in front of 1,000 people, 2,000 people. It's important to visually connect with the audience, so make sure you know your speech well. You don't want to be just reading it and have your head down. Okay, you don't want to see the top of their forehead. You may want to use note cards. That's what I recommend. Okay, so you have your outline for our class, but you also have note cards. And this is something that you can use whether you go into the business world or you become a salesperson. This is going to be more effective. You have just like your key bullet points on your note cards. You don't have the whole script per se. The problem is people who want to have the entire script, every single word, and they want to use that as a crutch, and they say, "Hell, Mr. Mooney, I'm just using that because I need it as insurance. It just makes me feel safe and secure." You have a tendency to lean on it too hard. So you get nervous or you forget one part and you just start reading, and then it becomes not a speech, a reading. And this is not a public reading. It's not a persuasive reading. It's a public speech. It's a persuasive speech. So use note cards, and then you have your key bullet points, and then it'll jog your memory. Okay, what am I going to talk about next? And then look at the audience, and then pan the audience. Maybe pick out some spots, okay, if you're nervous, or friends. Tell your friends, "Hey, can you sit back there and then smile at me when I'm doing this?" So it makes you feel better. But let me repeat for the class, do not read. If you are reading the speech, you're not only going to lose us quickly, you're going to limit yourself grade-wise for this class. So the highest I can give you, and this is out of 50, I think, for AP Lang, probably the same for sophomores, is a C+. You don't want a C+. Dress professionally. I'm just wearing a polo today, but I would dress with a shirt and tie or a button-down shirt and a blazer if I was a guy. Ladies or other people, if you're interested, ask your parents, what's professional dress for me, you think? What would you wear if you were doing an important presentation at work? Wear something that looks like you're going to give a TED Talk. Okay, dress for success. That's the cliche. If you're telling a funny anecdote, you want to relax and smile and let it be funny. Okay, if you are telling a serious subclaim or fact, be serious. You don't want to be like, Yeah, more and more people are being executed by the death penalty in America, and I firmly believe that is wrong. And you have a big grin on your face. So when appropriate, use hand gestures. Okay, so you don't want to overdo it. So people are distracted, like, wow, this person, they just keep watching. Mr. Mooney has really big hands. But you don't want to underdo it too. You got your hands like by your side, like Dwight Schrute. Connect with your audience as much as possible. The Obamas, both of them, gifted speakers, give shared beliefs. Something that is widely believed or valued, then readers should accept it. And listeners will accept it too. Okay? Shared belief and being relatable is key. Remember who your audience is. Okay? It's me. It's your peers. You want to persuade them. Talk to them. Give it to them in a language they will understand. Concede, then crush, or concede, then counter. CNC. I harp on that quite a bit. Remember, not everyone is on your side. That's the point of conceding. So you want to concede to show respect for their side and to sort of soften them up. Okay. So if I'm persuading you that we need to have harsher penalties for people who are texting and driving, okay, with their phones, I say, although it might seem extreme to put someone in jail for 1 day for texting and driving, a penalty like a $162 ticket is not going to do anything, okay, for the guy who's affluent or the gal who's affluent in America. Okay, so I'm recognizing that, yeah, it might seem extreme. Okay, so if that's their side, they're probably going to think, you're crazy, Mr. Mooney. Why would you put someone in jail? The point of that is to soften them up. Atticus was very good at this. Make your claim or your position crystal clear. So share it up front, keep it crystal clear throughout the speech, and then restate it in your own words or in different words at the end. There should be no doubt. People shouldn't be in the room going, okay, so are they against the death penalty, or are they for searching lockers? What, they don't want to be. You don't want your listener to be fuzzy. You want it to be crystal clear. Okay, I think we should be allowed to search lockers. Okay, more and more people in America are being exposed to school shootings, and there's a drug problem on campus or whatever. So it's not cheating to look at YouTube of other speeches that inspire you. I like this one by Dwight. Okay, he watched YouTube, gave him several speeches to look at to inspire him to do his best. I like tropes in my speeches, and I like parallelism quite a bit. So any metaphor that can be extended. Okay, rhetorical questions can be really purposeful. You could use 2 or 3 and then answer them later on. Devices of sound give the speech poetry. Again, know your audience. It's part of the rhetorical triangle. It's the A in SOAPs. Tailor your speech to your audience and then concede and counter. This is an important piece. Okay, Aristotle knew what he was talking about. Logos, ethos, pathos. Message, speaker, audience. I use the acronym SAM. And this is helpful for your rhetorical analysis essay. If you have a visual aid, great. Bring a hard copy, and then you can slap it down underneath the dock camera. Okay, so no slides. Slideshows are boring. It's ironic, I know. Did I mention how you should not read your speech? If you are reading your speech, the highest I can give you is a C+. Okay. Have fun with this assignment. It should be fun. And it'll be really good experience because you can do this a lot in college and beyond, no matter what profession you choose. Don't forget your works cited page. Okay, they like to know that you have credible sources. Okay, where did you get your information? You need at least 2. And most colleges around the country require MLA format, so it's good practice to do that and to use MLA format. I use the website EasyBib to do it. That wasn't available to me in college. I had to look up exactly how to do the citation. But now there's lots of resources out there for you. This is one of my favorite speeches. I'll try to link it in the comments. It's from a Tesoro kid who gave the graduation speech here and then went on to Harvard and was honored by giving the graduation speech there. And he uses an extended metaphor. He pretends he's like toasting at a wedding.